What's up, beautiful? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Brittany. On this channel, we talk about lifestyle, motherhood, business, faith, and all things inspiration. Okay, so today we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons of being a stay-at-home mom. Okay, so let's hop right into it. So the pros of being a stay-at-home mom. Of course, number one is, it comes without saying, the bonding time that you get with your children is unmatched, okay? Like, I've been blessed to be able to be home with all three of our kids for like the first, I would say, year and a half of their life. Our youngest child is 17 months, and right around this time is when we send our kids like to some type of daycare or school, and you know, it just hasn't worked for us in the past. Right now, we are not looking to send our last child to school until he will be right at about 2. He will be about to turn 2. But I am so grateful that I've been able to be a stay-at-home mom for them for the first like year and a half, 2 years of their life. It has been such a joy to be able to not feel the pressure to go back to work, to find someone to take care of my little baby, because I cannot imagine having to go back to work when my babies are 6 weeks, 8 weeks old. It just feels so fresh. And I know that sometimes, you know, those are things that we cannot control. But again, like I said, I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to where I was able to stay home with my kids and just to bond with them and teach them certain things and just be there with them and just hug them and smell them and just, you know, it just grows that attachment and that love, and just be able to nurture them for the first year and a half of their life has been a joy. So the bonding time is unmatched, especially while they're little bitty babies, you know, and I would still consider up until 2 being like a baby, you know, really, like, I don't know, our oldest is 9 and she's still our baby. But at that age, you know, they have to fly. So, but yes, that's number one. Okay, so the second thing is having flexibility. Being a stay-at-home mom has allowed me to have a flexible schedule. So if the kids need to be picked up early, if they have an activity at school, or if I want to go grab lunch with a friend, I can do that. I do have a little bit more a lot bit more flexibility in my schedule, which I do enjoy. I enjoy that a lot. We do have 3 kids, so you know, when you have more than one child may be having something going on while the other child got something going on. So fortunately enough for me, yay for me, I get to do one thing for one child at 2 o'clock and another thing for another child at 3 o'clock, and then be at another event by 5:30 for the other child. But that's just the flexibility that I have, and I consider that a pro, because if I was at work or I didn't have any help, I would have to make all these arrangements, and times may overlap. But you know, something can suddenly come up, and I'm able to have a little bit more flexibility in my schedule to be able to do everything for the kids while my husband is at work. Okay, so number 3 is being able to have a little bit more structure and control over our parenting style. So we have decided, you know, that we're just going to do this thing however we want to do this thing. We're not going to go off of like how we were raised. We're not going to take the advice of blogs and magazines and any of that. We just take the stress off of parenthood in that manner when it comes to how we want to raise our children. So being a stay-at-home mom gives me that freedom to have that control over how, we parent our kids, and a little bit more eyes on during the day of what our kids read, the amount of content or internet time that they have, that they take in, whether it's from their tablet or the TV. We have a little bit more control, or I have a little bit more control over that while I'm home. And so the one thing about it, though, is being a military spouse, you really don't have, we live abroad. So we live here in Japan, and our family is away in the United States. So being able to have that control over like how I want to raise our children and what I want them to see and do, and how much I want them to see, is a little bit easier for me. But I like it like that. I like being able to just do my own thing without any outside pressures of, you should do this with your child, or your child should be doing that. I don't even follow any mommy blogs just because I don't really like to compare myself to, not really, I don't compare myself to other moms and how they raise their children. It just it empowers me to be able to look within and say, you know what, Brittany, you know how to do this. These are your children. These are, you guys' children, both me and my husband, and you know what you're doing. So it gives me the ability to have that control and to be able to say, it empowers me to say, these are my kids. I'm going to raise them the way that I see fit. And of course, my husband, when I say I mean we. But because I'm at home with the majority of the time, and my husband is in the Navy. So when he's on these 3-month, 9-month deployments, it's mama. I'm the one who's here instilling these life lessons and certain things into them, while my husband is away sacrificing for our family and doing what he needs to do, on his end or whatever. But I love that part. I do. I really enjoy being able to just do things my way, how I want to do it, without anybody saying anything. I know that may be a little controversial, but it takes a village to raise children. I do understand that, but I want to raise my kids the way I want to raise my kids. That's just it. Okay, so number 4 is saving. Okay, so being at home and not having to pay for 3 kids to go to childcare saves us a bunch of money. Okay, if I was working outside the home, I could only imagine the childcare that we would have to spend for all 3 kids. First of all, just assuming I got off at 5 o'clock, right? Assuming I had a 9 to 5. So that is something that we would have to consider, and it would have to make sense in terms of the coins that I am getting paid at my 9 to 5, to where it actually makes sense to cover the childcare costs, because childcare is very, very expensive these days. So, the math has to math. Okay, so we are definitely saving some money there with me being a stay-at-home mom. Okay, so and the last one is the mommy guilt. So I don't have to deal with mom guilt when it comes to being at work and missing my children. I don't miss that feeling. And I don't have to feel like, what are they doing? Oh my gosh, am I working too late? I don't know if I can pick up this extra thing at work because I got to get home to my kids, and deal with their schedule, or, and all this like extra pressure that I could only imagine I would have as a working mom, just feeling that sense of like wanting to be in 2 places at one time. So the mommy guilt is something that I don't have to worry about right now. I do plan on going back to work, so let's just be clear. It's something that I would have to face whenever I get there. But for right now, it is a pro because I don't have to worry about the mom guilt with me working. And in the line of work that I used to do, I was a professional makeup artist, so I did work in production, and we worked very long hours, sometimes like 12 hours, and it was just a very long day to be away from your children and your family. So I'm really happy that I don't have to do that right now. Okay, so let's get into these cons. Let's get into the cons. Okay, so for the cons, you guys, let's pause for the cause. Okay, here we go. First of all, I would definitely say one con would be going from 2 incomes to 1 income. So decreasing your income. Whether you are working from home, if you are a working stay-at-home mom, then the income, you still have some income coming in. But if you are not a working stay-at-home mom, and at the time I am not a working stay-at-home mom, so my income that I was making before becoming a stay-at-home mom is now gone away. So that's something that was an adjustment for us. We did move to a different country, so that's a little different too in terms of the cost of living here in this country opposed to the cost of living in the United States. And, you know, going from 2 incomes to 1 income, or going from, you know, multiple incomes and losing 1 income, that is an adjustment that we definitely had to make financially. So I would say that is one of my cons that I don't really like as much, is because I had to take away, you know, my salary. And when you take away, you know, a salary from a household income, you're gonna feel it a little bit, or sometimes you might feel it a lot of it, and you do have to adjust. And that adjusting takes time. It takes a lot of communication from me and Tony, you know, and it's something that I'm not fully comfortable with as of yet, which is why I do plan on, you know, bringing in income, because I am the kind of girl that I want to be a financial contributor to my family's wealth. That's just the type of woman that I am. And so I'm in the process of figuring that out on how I can contribute financially to my family's wealth, you know, while being a stay-at-home mom, or if I'm going to go back to being a working mom, and what all that looks like. So that's definitely a con for me. Okay, so the second con is definitely being at home with toddlers, or a toddler, or little kids all day. It makes you feel very isolated. Let me speak for myself. It has made me feel very isolated at times, and it doesn't help the fact that we are in a new country. Well, we're in Japan. It's not really new to us now, but being in Japan where my neighbors don't speak English, and I can't just go, you know, to a local park and meet another mom. Not that I really would want to do that in the States anyway, or on base anyway, but that's another topic for another day. But still, it's not available to me because everybody speaks Japanese. Some people speak English here, but, you know, just being at home, let me just speak from that space. Being at home with your kids and talking to toddlers all day and talking to kids all day and not having any adult interaction, it can make you feel very isolated. It make you feel very alone, like you're the only person that's doing this thing called motherhood on this island called stay-at-home mom. So, you know, that's something that I've had to adjust to quite a bit. Now, we do stay off base. We don't stay on the base, on the military base. And so whenever I go to the military base, it gives me a little bit more mom interaction, and I'll go to like my Bible study, and it gives me more adult interaction. I'll do things like that. But while I'm home, for the most part, it can be a bit lonely during the day, because you're just talking and doing motherly chores, or, you know, home chores, or doing whatever you have to do. And it's just you and your baby. Or babies. So for me, in my case, it's just me and baby Tony that's here majority of the time during the day. And it can become, you know, very lonely at times. So I don't enjoy that all that much, because I enjoy talking to my friends and my girlfriends, and, you know, just having adult conversation. I quite enjoy that. So I do miss that. That would be a con for me. Okay, so for number 4 would be loss of career identity. So for me, I chose to retire from my career as a celebrity makeup artist. And I made that decision divinely. That was a decision that I feel that the Holy Spirit had told me to do. And this was a career that I had for almost like 10 years. And I'll leave a video linked here somewhere about, why I quit my career as a celebrity makeup artist. And so you can take a look at that after this video, and where I go into more details about that. But now that I am a stay-at-home mom, I don't really know what I'm going to do post being a stay-at-home mom. I don't really know what career field I'm going to go into. I do have a bachelor's degree in rehabilitation studies, so I do have some experience in like the behavioral health field and the counseling field. So I am looking to go back into that. I'm kind of thinking about maybe going back into the behavioral health field. As you guys know, I wanted to start my self-care and wellness brand, the Harlow brand, and so touching into a little bit of entrepreneurship things, and then starting my YouTube channel and growing this channel. So there's a lot of different things that I'm thinking about doing post, or I'm doing in the meantime of being a stay-at-home mom. But I can see how losing your career identity could be a thing. And especially if I wanted to go back into doing makeup, depending on how long I'm going to be a stay-at-home mom, that could be almost like a career gap where I would have to go back and, freshen up my skills. And if, speaking to another mom who may be, let's just say a mom is a nurse, she may have this career gap of experience. Well, some trainings may lapse, some certifications may lapse. So things like that, when in terms of your career, it takes a back seat to being, a stay-at-home mom. When you're a stay-at-home mom, your career takes a back seat. So when you decide to go back into the workforce, you're like, oh, who is this girl? And where are we going and what are we doing? If you're going to go back into your old career, or if you're starting something totally new and fresh, those are all things that come with their own set of challenges, I think. And so it's not like you are in your career and you have a continuation of growth without any breaks. Then, it's not, you're not, that's not your life. Your life is you take a break for X amount of years or months or whatever, and then you jump back into where you used to be, or a new career. And sometimes that can be very challenging. And in my case, it has really forced me to do a lot of like digging and self-searching, and saying, okay, Brittany, this is the time for you to talk to God and see exactly where God is leading you in this moment, which actually is a pro, which I would say that part of it is the pro. It's like I've actually had an opportunity to just be in a space to talk to God about where He wants me to go in my career. The con piece of it is that you're like, okay, I don't know who I am right now. What am I doing? What, that can be the struggle. Okay. But I would definitely say that is one of the cons of being a stay-at-home mom, is the fear that comes along with, what am I going to do? Am I going to be good? Do I have to start at the bottom? All those things. So, okay. So the last one is the stigma of being a stay-at-home mom. A lot of times people think that being a stay-at-home mom, all you do is just sit at home. You don't do anything. You're not motivated. You don't have, like, why do you want to be a stay-at-home mom? Society has made it where being a stay-at-home mom is like this taboo thing. It's still very much so like you're not doing enough as a stay-at-home mom. Are you being lazy? You're not doing anything while being at home. When the fact of the matter is, being a stay-at-home mom is a lot of work, okay? Being a stay-at-home mom is a lot more work than being at work, because not only do you have to take care of your children, but you have the work of the household chores, and you have to still think about yourself. There's a lot of things that go into being a stay-at-home mom, more than just looking at your kids or doing nothing all day. There's so many things and so many hats that you have to wear as a stay-at-home mom. And I just feel that as a society, being a stay-at-home mom is not valued enough. Not that I really care about what society really thinks of me per se, but I would definitely say that I have had my challenges in how I needed to shift my mind and not allow those same thought patterns to infiltrate how I feel as being a stay-at-home mom. Because there have been times where I felt like I wasn't doing enough as a stay-at-home mom. Like, you know, I played on my self-worth and my value quite a bit because I allowed those outside influences of how maybe some things I heard growing up, or just, you know, things I just see, or how people, you know, respond when you tell them you're a stay-at-home mom. You already know what it is. You know, people are like, oh, okay. Luckily for me, I work. Luckily for me, I am surrounded by a lot of stay-at-home moms. Being a military wife, I'm surrounded by a lot of stay-at-home moms. And in the Japanese culture, a lot of moms stay home with their kids as well. So I'm used to seeing moms at the grocery store with their babies. That's like no big deal there. So it is something that is becoming a little bit more comfortable with me as I am going through this journey. It definitely has taken some time though. So I'm going to definitely say that that is a con, because it has taken me some time to shift my thinking, from you are doing enough, Brittany. You are doing a lot. You know, if I've had to talk to myself like that at times, and it has just not been easy. It hasn't been easy. And I'll just tell you this one story real quick. Right before I decided to leave my career, you know, I told a family member that I was going to retire from my career and I was going to go to Japan with my family and be a stay-at-home mom. And they looked at me like, so you're not going to work? You know, like, what? So those type of things makes you feel like undervalued as a stay-at-home mom. Just the title as a stay-at-home mom in general. So I allowed some of those outside influences or stigmas to come into my head while I was, you know, while being a stay-at-home mom. And I've had to shift my thinking quite a bit. So I would say that that is a con. And I do think that there is a lot of work that needs to be done, you know, in terms of society, so that people are not looking at stay-at-home moms as being lazy. That in fact, that this is one of the most beautiful, high-value jobs you can ever have, because we are home with the future. We are home with the next generation, the next CEO, the next whatever, you know, of this company or entrepreneur or president or governor or mayor. We're at home with them, nurturing them and showing them structure and giving them love. Those are the people that you want to run your company. Those are the people that you want to buy product from. You know, people that have ethics and structure, good morals. So listen, being a stay-at-home mom is an amazing job, okay? If I had to do it all over again, I would do it again. I would do it again. Yes, it comes with its set of pros. It comes with its set of cons. But I would definitely say that I would do this all over again. And I am grateful for this opportunity to be able to do this again for our third child. Now, I'm not going to be in this situation forever. I'm not going to be in this job title forever. I'm not going to be in this place forever, because my children won't be here forever. They're going to grow up, and you know, I'm going to go and get a job, or I'm going to start a new career or build my brand. Whatever it is that God has for me, that is going to happen, and it could be happening sooner than I think. But in the meantime, while I'm in this season, I am trying to take advantage of it. I've learned so much in this season about myself, which is a pro, and I'm very happy about that. And I've just learned so much about myself, and you know, allowing this time to shape me and mold me into the woman of God that God wants me to be, to my children, to my husband, you know, for the world. Like, it has been a whole thing, you guys. So I'm grateful for that. And I know that this is a sacrifice that I'm making for my family. I know that this is a sacrifice that I'm making for my children. And so because I know that this is a sacrifice that I'm making for them, I will do it all over again in a minute, in a heartbeat, for sure, because I know that it's temporary. They won't always be little babies. They won't always be at home, but they need mama right now, and I'm here for them to give them the love that they need and deserve. So that's all I have for today. I hope you like this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you like this video. Stay at home moms, leave me some comments down in the comment section, okay? Because your girl needs some advice. Even though I said I don't like to take other people's advice, just go ahead and leave me some comments down there. And let me know. You know, I still want to be able to relate to other stay-at-home moms, because it lets you know that you're not in this situation alone. And hopefully this video does that for another stay-at-home mom. You can see your life in my eyes, and in my, you know, see that you're not alone. I have my pros, I have my cons. You're not alone. It's a normal thing. You can do this. It's temporary, or it could be long term for you, however long you want to do it, you know, but the kids will grow up, so that part is going to end. But you can do it. Be encouraged through this process, and all the things, girl. You got this. And listen, if nobody is out there telling you that you are worthy or valued, I am telling you, you are worthy and you are valued, and what you're doing is the Lord's work, honey. Let me tell you that now. You are doing the Lord's work. So anyways, subscribe to this channel. We're trying to grow this channel over here, you guys. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss an upload, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.